Dear Ink 101 students, welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to cover Unit 2, Lesson 4, Study and Writing Skills. By the end of the lesson, students will have discussed learning styles and identified their own, found out about the use of a reflective blog, read for specific information and inferred them, created their own reflective blog. Today's lesson is important for all levels, not only for level 1. Why? Because we need to know our learning style in order to make the best use of information and learning styles, and learning actually. So what's your learning style? What is the meaning of learning style first? Learning style means some people learn better by seeing, others learn better by hearing, and others learn better by moving and experiencing. So which learning style best suits you? Why do we need to know our learning style? So read the following text to find out the answers. I'm going to take you to this journey together to explore the person within you in order to benefit from learning. So let's move on to the reading text. So what's your learning style? There are 3 basic types of learning styles. The 3 most common are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. To learn, we depend on our senses to process the information around us. Most people tend to use one of their senses more than the others. Today's lesson will help you determine which of these learning styles you rely on the most. And knowing your learning style can help you be a better learner. It will help you find out ways to make you learn better. There is a series of 16 questions that are related to the 3 main learning styles. Read the questions and select the answer that closest fits your answer. Don't think about the question too much. Go with your first choice. After you answer each of these questions, tabulate your total number of A's, B's, and C's. Sometimes people have 2 or 3 that all have about the same number of choices. Some people depend on 2 or more types of learning styles. It is not unusual to use different learning styles for different tasks. That's why people can respond so differently to the same thing. So we're going to do the personality test in order to discover which type of learning style suits you the most. So we're going to draw a table. In each column, we're going to write A, B, and C's. Then you're going to count how many A's have you got, how many B's have you got, and how many C's have you got. Then the largest number is going to be your learning style. So let's go through the questions and answer them together. Question 1. When you study for a test, would you rather read notes, read headings in a book, and look at diagrams and illustrations? B. Have someone ask you questions or repeat facts silently to yourself? C. Write things out on index cards and make models or diagrams. Question 2. Which of these do you do when you listen to music? Daydream, see things that go with the music. Hum along means read silently with it. C. Move with the music, tap your feet, etc. Question 3. When you work at solving a problem, do you make a list, organize the steps, and check them off as they are done? Or make a few phone calls and talk to friends or experts? Or make a model of the problem or walk through all the steps in your mind? Question 4. When you read for fun, do you prefer a travel book with a lot of pictures in it? A mystery book with a lot of conversations in it? A book where you answer questions and solve problems? Question 5. To learn how a computer works, would you rather watch a movie about it, or listen to someone explain it, or take the computer apart and try to figure it out for yourself? Question 6. You have just entered a science museum. What will you do first? A. Look around and find a map showing the locations of the various exhibits. B. Talk to a museum guide and ask about the exhibits. C. Go into the first exhibit that looks interesting and read the directions later. Question 7. What kind of restaurant would you rather not to go? A. One with the lights too bright. Note that we're talking about the restaurants you'd rather not to go, all right? So one with the lights too bright, or one with the music too loud. C. One with uncomfortable chairs. Question 8. Would you rather go to an art class, a music class, an exercise class? Question 9. Which are you most likely to do when you're happy? Grin means like smile, shout with joy, jump for joy. Question 10. If you were at a party, what would you be most likely to remember the next day? A. The faces of the people there, but not names, not the names. B. The names, but not the faces. C. The things you did and said while you were there. Question 11. When you see the word D-O-G, what do you do first? A. Think of a picture of a particular dog, or say the word dog to yourself silently, or sense the feeling of being with a dog, putting it, running with it, etc. Question 12. When you tell a story, would you rather write it, tell it out loud, or act it out? Question 13. What is most distracting for you when you're trying to concentrate? Visual distractions, noises, other sensations like hunger, tight shoes, or worry? Question 14. What are you most likely to do when you are angry? scowl, shout or blow up, stomp off and slam doors. Question 15. When you aren't sure how to spell a word, which of these are you most likely to do? A. Write it out to see if it looks right. B. Sound it out. C. Write it out to see if it feels right. The last question, question 16. Which are you most likely to do when standing in a long line of the movies? A. Look at posters advertising other movies. B. Talk to the person next to you. Or C. Tap your foot or move around in some other way. Now, count your total A's and B's and C's. We have 3 different learning styles. If you scored mostly A's, you may have a visual learning style. You learn by seeing and looking. Visual learners. Visual learners take numerous detailed notes and tend to sit in front, and usually they are neat and clean. These learners like to see what they learn and prefer stimuli to be isolated from auditory and kinesthetic distraction. They often close their eyes to visualize or remember something. Also, they benefit from illustrations and presentations that use color. When they are bored, they find something to watch and find a passive surroundings are ideal. If you scored mostly B's, you may have an auditory learning style. You learn by hearing and listening. Auditory learners tend to sit where they can hear but needn't pay attention to what is happening in front. They hum or talk to themselves or others when bored. If you are an auditory learner, you may not coordinate colors or clothes, but can explain what you are wearing and why. They can acquire knowledge by reading aloud and remember by verbalizing lessons to themselves. If they don't, they have difficulty in reading maps or diagrams or handling conceptual assignments like mathematics. The last learning style is, if you had mostly C, you may have a kinesthetic learning style. You learn by touching and doing. Kinesthetic learners need to be active and take frequent breaks. They speak with their hands and with gestures. They always remember what was done, but have difficulty in recalling what was said or seen. They rely on what they can directly experience or perform and usually find reasons, tinker or move when bored. Activities such as cooking, construction, engineering, and art help them perceive and learn. So they enjoy field trip and tasks that involve manipulating materials. Kinesthetic learners prefer sitting near the door or someplace else where they can easily get up and move around. And they are uncomfortable in classrooms where they lack opportunities for hands-on experience. They usually communicate by touching and appreciate physically expressed encouragement, such as a pat on the back. Now you know which learning style suits you the most. Since you know that, can you think of things you would do to help learn better? What makes you learn better? What things can you do to improve your learning style? Take 1 minute to think about this question. Let's move to the second objective. What is a blog? What does the adjective reflective mean? A reflective blog it is a good idea when you are studying English to write a reflective blog. Writing gives you some time to think and helps you organize your thoughts, feelings, and ideas. It also helps you to track your progress and development. In other words, writing can help you become a better thinker and learner. When you are studying English, it's helpful to write a reflective blog. It's a way to practice writing as it gives you ideas to organize your thoughts and feelings. And when you read it again, it shows you how your writing and language have progressed as a learner. Okay. Let's read this reflective blog below. It's all me. Hello, I'm Sandy and I'm at McGill University in Montreal, Canada. At the moment, as part of my program, I'm studying in Paris, France since February. Wednesday, April 3rd. There was a trip to the Louvre again today. I fell in love with this museum. The paintings there are amazing, and the structures of the museum are a great mixture between modern and old. I realized that seeing painting in real is different than on internet or in books. The size and details just take your breath away and you stand in admiration. It's like they are alive. Afterwards, I studied with a friend for the exams that are starting next week on history and culture. Tuesday, April 2nd. I really like the way the city looks like at night. No wonder it's called the City of Lights. As soon as the sun sets down, Paris comes alive with lights, especially the Champs-Élysées street, which makes a walk all through it beautiful and romantic. The street is full of restaurants, cafes, and shops for everyone. When I first arrived, I was mesmerized with the scene and still have the same feeling every time the lights go on. To think of it, it kind of adds up for Paris being the most visited destination in Europe. Saturday, March 29th. Right now, I'm painting for my modern art class. I never thought I would like painting. At first, I did it as a dare, then the smell of paints bothered me a lot. Not to mention the stains until I spent more time in this class. I started to like it and I discovered I'm almost good at painting. I even made few pieces that caught the eye of my instructor. After reading the reflective blog, I want you to answer these questions. Question number 1, when did Sandy come to France? 2, what did Sandy do on Wednesday? 3, what can you see at night in Paris? You have 3 minutes only to do this question. It's time to read the answers together. The answer for the first question is in February. The answer for the second question is a trip to the Louvre, and then she studied with a friend. Question number 3, lights everywhere. All right. Now, what do you write about in a reflective blog? I think that you can guess from the previous reading. In a reflective blog, you can write about things you do, things you see or hear, things you like or don't like, things you are thinking about, difficulties, problems, or concerns, things that change in your life. Can you find some of the previous things in Sandy's blog? Write down your notes in a paper. Then we're going to discuss the answers together. You have 2 minutes to do this activity. The listed below are the possible answers. Things you do: trip to the Louvre and a walk all through the Champs-Élysées street is very beautiful and romantic. Things you see or hear: paintings and lights of Paris. Things you like or don't like: painting. Things you are thinking about: difficulties, problems, or concerns: skills in painting. Things that change in your life: visiting art museums and studying painting. Let's move to the next objective, linkers. Look at the linking words: until, at first, then, at the moment, and afterwards, and the blog, and study them. Then choose the best word to complete these sentences. So we have some sentences with 2 options each. Okay, so I want you just to circle the correct answer. Like for the first one, either at first or until, I was sad and didn't know what to do, at the moment, or then, I figured out a solution. So I just want you to circle the correct answer. I'm going to read it with you, then I will give you some time to do this activity. I'm having a great time at first or at the moment. At first or at the moment, I couldn't kick a curveball, but until or then, the coach showed me how to do it. I had a very long meeting today. I felt exhausted afterwards or at first and taken up. 5. I didn't use a calculator at first or then, but then or at the moment I realized that it was better than counting in my head. The last one, I was having fun until or afterwards my older brother came. Now you have 3 minutes to do this activity. Now, check your answers. Now it's your turn. I want you to write your own reflective blog. Use the plan below to help you write your blog. 1. Start by writing about an experience you had, like today, yesterday, during, while. Then, write about what you have learned from the experience. We start with, this taught me that. I also learned that. What did you learn? 3. After some time, a couple of days or weeks, reflect on, evaluate what you wrote. So after you write this, then after a week you come back to what you wrote already. Then you have to check your progress maybe. Did your writing skills improve? Did your English improve? So You have like 5 minutes to write your personal reflective blog. Whenever you're done with your own blog, go back to the self-assessment sheet and check whatever is covered. Like, I write an introduction about an experience. I provide things I learned from the experience. I provide things to do in the experience. I use linkers. I used the appropriate punctuation marks and the right capitalization. I revised my paragraph. I reflected on my writing. If you covered all the points, then you're on the safe side. That's it for today. Thank you for listening and see you soon.